Heck of a way to spend your 60th birthday, but if you got to do it, you got to do it in Craven County, right? First of all, let me tell you how proud I am of North Carolina during this past 10 days, and let me also tell you how proud I am of Craven County and the elected officials, the members of the faith community, the members of the nonprofits for coming together. I think because you came together and planned and gave the right directives, you've saved some lives. And now our goal is to help as many people as we can, especially those people who could least afford a hurricane, impacting their livelihood, impacting their house, impacting their clothes that they wear, impacting their ability to have transportation. Those are the people that I care about most as we deal with this next several weeks, months, and even years to help these people recover as quick as possible. Because sadly, this hurricane, as many hurricanes, is targeting the people that can least afford it. And all of us together as a team need to help those people. And again, in Craven County, I just got back from Vanceboro and visited their incredible school that is helping with a shelter. Right now, I think they have about 18 occupants, maybe even less. But these are 18 occupants that have their individual stories. In fact, I had one woman come up to me and said, "My husband just recently died. I have nothing. Governor, what are you going to do? I have nothing." And these are the individuals that we must help because they each have their own story. And we still have some areas of high risk for flood potential in certain areas of the Neuse River, Vanceboro, Chips, Maple Cypress, Pitch Kettle, Cowpen, Cove City. These are areas that you're going to be discussing in your own conference in a few minutes. And again, we'd like to thank, they're going to give you updates on the local roads in this area, and I appreciate that. Our immediate goal is to get Craven County approved for FEMA public assistance. That's our immediate goal. FEMA is going to be coming here around 2 o'clock. They're going to view the area. We have asked for public assistance from FEMA for Craven County, and I hope we qualify. We should qualify. But the FEMA officials, I need to say, have been extremely cooperative. I have nothing critical to say at all. I've talked to President Obama on several occasions. The FEMA official that was appointed for North Carolina comes from Rocky Mount, so she knows the state. We've worked extremely well together, and of course, I've got the best emergency operations team in the United States of America with Mike Sprayberry, one of the best appointments I've ever made, and we've got a great National Guard too, who's been doing some outstanding work. But I want to compliment you on the shelter that you currently have in Vanceboro. The principal and the kids are just incredible, and I got a lot of hugs about an hour ago there. Right now, the North Carolina National Guard does not have any resources in Craven, but if you need them, do not be afraid to ask. If you need them for protecting some of your neighborhoods as the water recedes, and you have several hundred homes that could be impacted here, if you need that help, do not hesitate to ask. I'll get the Guard down here as quick as possible. You can tell by the pictures right now, you've got some areas underwater right here in Craven County, and we want to do everything we can to help those people. We're also very concerned about the ag community. We're going to have a major financial impact in the ag community, not just in Craven County, but all down the Neuse River, the Tar River, and also the Cape Fear River areas, and everywhere in between. Our peanut farmers, our sweet potato farmers, our cotton, and of course the chicken and poultry industry and swine industry have been severely impacted. We will not know the long-term impact for weeks to come, but it could have a major devastating effect on our ag community for years to come. So we need to do everything we can to help the ag community. I do want to let you know, right now I'm very proud of Craven County because we've had 25 fatalities. Actually, one was 26. One turns out one was due to another cause of death, not storm related, and not one in Craven County. And that must continue to be our goal. You have some road closings right now, over 15 to 20 roads closed in Craven County right now. The big one is Weyerhaeuser Road is closed in both directions. I cannot stress to you more, do not let anyone drive through those roads. The sheriff and others have already told me people are going around the barricades, have even moved the barricades. That's where we've had too many deaths in North Carolina that were uncalled for. And these are drownings in cars. And if you need to be rescued, you're putting other people's life in jeopardy to rescue you. And not only that, I also want to stress to all the residents of Craven County and this whole area, as the water comes down, this is not clean water. This is not environmentally sound water. It's polluted at this point in time. So do not just say, oh, I'll go walk through the water. No, this is water you do not want to touch your skin. And if it does, clean yourself very thoroughly at that point in time. I cannot stress that more. You're going to have some people go, oh, great, I'll go splash around. Your kids. Do not allow that to happen. I've got some great news. I-95 is now open. That is incredible. I want to thank my DOT. They had cranes working for the last 48 hours repairing a major bridge difficulty, and I just got the news that I-95 is reopened. That's going to have major positive impact up and down 95 along all three of the rivers, and it's especially going to help Lumberton area. And I was in Lumberton earlier today. The water has gone down tremendously. It looks like night and day between 48 hours ago. Lumberton was totally underwater, very similar to Princeville, very similar to Fairbluff is another area that's been hit the hardest. But you've got some areas hit right here. That's here, right? Yes. That could be Fairbluff. That could be Princeville right there. Much smaller area, but those people are suffering, so let's help them. Lenoir and Edgecombe counties have been approved for transitional sheltering assistance. And again, if FEMA does, and we hope FEMA does help here in Craven County, our immediate goal is to get the people in the shelters out of the shelters and into temporary housing, preferably initially in hotels, and then long-term get them into permanent housing where they have some privacy, where they can take a decent shower or bath, and where they can get food. So that's going to be our immediate goal. The dilemma we have in some areas, and you don't have this area as much in Craven County, although you might have to drive a distance, is some counties just don't have the hotels, and in some counties, for example, in Kinston, the hotels got flooded. So we've got major issues to deal with at that point in time. That's going to be our major issue, is how to get people in temporary housing, especially in the less populated areas of the state. The other big challenge here is it's a beautiful day. It's 80 degrees, and everyone assumes it's safe. It is not safe right now. If you're near water, water will kill you, and we want to keep people up to date. Real quick update for the rest of the state, and then I'm going to hand it over to the county and let them do their thing, because you've got a great team here. Flooding along the Lumber, Cape Fear, Noose, and Tar rivers have officially crested, so we're on the downside. That's very good news. Greenville, Tarboro, and Goldsboro are returning to normal by October the 20th. Returning to normal. That doesn't mean all the people impacted by the flood are returning to normal, but it'll be back down to normal levels. And we have a lot of businesses in Goldsboro that were underwater the other day, and sadly we even had caskets and pigs and other things floating around, and so the pigs were running around actually. So we want to help people in Tarboro and Kinston and other areas. Noose River at Goldsboro is still at moderate flood stage and forecasted to drop by Tuesday morning, October 18th. That's tomorrow. So that's good news. Noose River at Kinston is expected to drop below major flood stage by October 19th. So that will be good news for Kinston. Tar River at Tarboro remains now at a moderate flood stage. It is expected to drop below moderate flood stage Monday morning. Princeville is right across the bridge from Tarboro, and that's the city I'm extremely concerned about. The people just do not have the financial wherewithal to recover immediately. Their houses and businesses are totally underwater, and we need to do everything we can to help them. Tar River at Greenville is currently receding and remains in major flood stage. It is expected to drop below flood stage by tomorrow, and that's good news for Greenville. And they're very similar to New Bern, where they had to evacuate certain areas. It was done 2 or 3 days in advance. Things are good. Thankfully, no loss of life there. We do have 974 National Guard remain activated. We have 1 state medical support shelter in Wayne County, and we have a North Carolina mobile disaster hospital is operational in Lenoir County. The power, I want to thank Duke Energy, and I want to thank the co-ops. They've done an outstanding job both here and other areas. Continue to work with them. We have about, I think, 1,800 power outages in eastern North Carolina right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we had almost 900,000 power outages Raleigh East. That's probably 20% of the population, if you think of the people. That is a huge amount impacted by Hurricane Matthew. We have 28 shelters still open in North Carolina, and right now we have approved, this is what we've gotten assistance from, $17.7 million has been sent down to help with federal individual assistance, $17.7 million in 10 days. And that's why it's so crucial to get some of these people in your current shelters some immediate assistance. And let's do that starting at 2 o'clock today, hopefully with your FEMA visit. We have 36,000 people who have registered for individual assistance. And that, again, includes no one here. In conclusion, New Bern, you're the exit. Craven County, this is the exit point. Some good news, we've got a pretty wide river. Tough news is some of the lower areas are the areas that can least afford it. And the other good news is, compared to Hurricane Floyd, our modeling can show us exactly which structures are in danger, and you've made the appropriate evacuations for just that. I'm going to be announcing on Wednesday a long-term Hurricane Matthew Recovery Task Force, which is going to be targeting especially those areas that were most impacted, those neighborhoods that were most impacted, and those businesses. And also making sure we get our roads open as quick as possible. DOT, thank you very much for your leadership, is doing a great job there. And again, I want to thank all the mayors and county commissioners who have helped with that. Farm Life Elementary School, the principal was outstanding. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the principal there and the teachers who have helped. 3 teachers at that school have lost their houses right now, or out of their houses. And I met 3 students who are out of their houses. They're in school right now. And so to the mayors, Chuck and Dana and John and Dredd, I want to thank you. To Johnny, thank you very much for your warm comments earlier today. And Scott, great seeing you again. Steve Tyson, great having you here. Tom Mark, Jason Jones, Thoreen McCabe, and Jack Felt, the county manager. And Stanley, you have done an outstanding job. You've got Mike has specifically talked about the teamwork here. So thank you all very much. This is the best of Craven County. This is the best of North Carolina. Now let's help those in need. And let's say a long goodbye to Hurricane Matthew. But it's still with us. And let's recognize that, even on a beautiful, beautiful Craven County Day and North Carolina Day. Thank you, and God bless you. I'll take any questions you might have, and then I'm going to let the county do their own press conference. Yes, sir.
Thank you. And I'm going to let folks know I got a call during the height of this thing from you, and I appreciate that. It humbled me. And I know that your leadership, you got resources out before this thing ever hit, and it was smart work, and I believe it saved lives. And maybe nobody thanks you and gets a chance to and think you got it all covered, but I want to thank you. Well, I appreciate the job you did.
I got a good team. I just follow directions. Sometimes when you're on the top, if you just follow directions, you'll do a good job. I do want to say New Bern was crucial for us, and I want to thank New Bern because we kept, even when the hurricane was predicted to come, not even come to North Carolina, we started looking at models. If it was slightly wrong, what are the variables? And one of them, well, southeast will only get hit. But then we start going, well, it could come up the coast. So we made a crucial decision. All I did was take the recommendation. Kept a force in New Bern, kept another force in Kinston, Williamston. We kept people there, and also kept people in Whiteville. And it ended up being the perfect plan based upon a storm that was totally unanticipated by the national experts. So I just want to let you know, New Bern played a crucial role in keeping resources in this area, and it worked out pretty quick because then we got resources to Kinston and Goldsboro and other areas pretty quickly. So thank you for your leadership there and letting New Bern being a distribution point with our guard and other resources. Who would have known? I wouldn't have known that 10 days ago, by the way. In fact, I said, why are we in New Bern? And they said, Governor, just in case. I said, let's do it then. No, let's take no risk. And it ended up being perfect for the people further up the river. Fantastic. Any other questions? Thank you for your compliment.
At this point in time, are land buyouts being considered for those hit the hardest, or is that something that comes?
We haven't even, we're still in recovery stage. Our major issue is getting the people out of shelters and get them into hotels or rental housing and get them to close and food that they need, especially for their children. I mean, you got to even think children with diapers, children with medical care. We had areas of the state 8 days ago, Lumberton, we couldn't get medicine to people in the shelter. So we had to do a major pharmacy issue with a Walmart. These are the details that we've been dealing with for 10 to 11 days. So right now, I think we need to do a whole reevaluation of where we rebuild and how we rebuild, whether it be in Princeville, whether it be further down the river, whether it be in Fair Bluff, Lumberton. You know, we're going to have to do a whole reevaluation, because what I don't want to have is this happen again. But the rain's going to come. It's not if, but when are we going to prepare for it? And is our infrastructure prepared for it? So some big decisions, and that's why I'm going to be appointing this long-term hurricane recovery, is to not only help the people, but have long-term plans on where best and how best to spend the money. Yes, ma'am.
What's the next step from your office to help Craven County?
The next step is to get FEMA the individual assistance. That's the immediate step within the next 24 hours. And again, we've already requested it out of my office. It's up to FEMA to make that decision. And then the next step is the long-term recovery plan, which will probably mainly be impacting the neighborhoods of about 200 homes or so in this area. And that's going to be our major priority.
Is any water scheduled to be released from upriver dams?
No. I want to put out, I've been, no. We've given strict orders. If they do, it's their, we have had minimal, we have not gone beyond minimal standards of release upriver since the day this started. And I think there was some lessons learned from Hurricane Floyd. And I hear there are rumors still floating out there. We're not releasing water upstream to save any upstream areas at the expense of people downstream. And that is held still. That's held firm now for 10 days. And we plan to keep it that way for another 2 or 3 days. And we're seeing the waters decline. If that water starts going up, you call me up real quick. That means someone's blown it upstream, and we're not going to let that happen. That's not the right way to do it. I'm real proud of our flood management team in that area. Any other questions? Before I leave, I'll hand this over to the chairman and your county commission, the mayor, and others. I just want to say a big thank you to every one of you, and God bless each one of you. And
Governor, today's a big day for you, and we don't want you to think that Craven County, the last 10 days have been all about work for you, but we are human, and today's your big birthday. So Sabrina Bengal and my wife Jennifer were able to get together and get a little cake for you, and we want to help celebrate your big day for you.
Big days. I told the kids I was 6 years old. They just missed it by a 0. But
Let's strike up a song, sing happy birthday.
oh wow, wow.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Governor.
Wow.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank y'all very much.
One for each decade. Didn't want to have a fire on top of a flood.
It's a privilege to become 60 years old, but my wish is to let's help those people in need right now. That's our wish. That's the best present we can give, right?
Absolutely.
All right. This is the best of North Carolina. Thank y'all. God bless you. Hey. Thank y'all very much.